Are we live?
Champions.
Yes. Let's do this thing. I have to add a. There we go. Okay. Wanted to add a screen share, but looks like we're already in there. Looks good. Looks good. All right. All right. All right.
Extra
There we
long.
go. Hey, I gotta cut that down, man. I gotta cut that down. Hey, stagnation, crypto warriors. Top of the morning to y'all.
Champions.
What an incredible Monday. What is this? What is this today? Juneteenth? Juneteenth. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Juneteenth to y'all.
The only day we didn't ask for.
Huh? The holiday we didn't ask for? Hey, listen, man. They want to keep throwing out holidays, man. They can keep doing it. I'm glad. Thank you for the day. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. You know, I know isn't this is supposed to be it's a black holiday, isn't it?
Hey, you can see me in my BK crypto shirt.
Exactly.
Representing, man.
We have Black History Month and now we have Juneteenth. It's incredible. Well, listen, let's see who is in the chat. We have Ken Mitcham. I feel like Mitcham sounds like an official Southern name, but then I could be wrong. I probably don't know anything about American names. It's ridiculous. He says, "Good morning, y'all. Good morning, sir. And good morning to BK Crypto, the man in the house. Boom. Let's go." So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be actually we have two things that we'll be touching on today. We have some.
Hey, no offense, y'all. We just gotta show you guys what's out there.
Man, I don't know if I don't think it's really something about offending anyone or anything like that. But you also have to consider that if you believe in something and the person who created it does not sound as confident, why do you believe in it more than they do? Something to pontificate over, you know? And of course, we're also going to look at Bitcoin. As you can see from the title of this stream, we think Bitcoin and the concept of Bitcoin is actually much more simpler than we all think. As a matter of fact, we believe that the same concepts that we apply for our finances, you apply this for your finances right now, right? In the traditional fiat system, it is very clear the same things works for Bitcoin. You guys probably know it, but we think that we should also just go through it.
Remind you.
Hey, give it a rundown, man. You never know who needs to hear it.
Expatiate.
Exactly. And you guys let us know in the comments below what you guys think about it. But first, let's jump into this Ethereum thing. Double O, do you have anything you want to share before we get going here?
Man, just don't laugh. That's all I can say.
Just don't laugh. Okay. So this here is what are we looking at? Vitalik. Buterin. Where is this page? I thought I had this page. Where is it? Where is that even showing from right now?
Braze.
Yeah, I am absolutely not on point with this right now. No, it should be showing from Brave, right?
Yeah.
But where is Brave? That's not showing. Oh, sorry guys. We got it. We figured it out. Dude, I'm totally dropping the ball these days, man. Not sure what's happening. All right, so this is what is happening here. This is Vitalik, right? I think he's talking about Ethereum, the use cases, if you will, right? And this post here says, "Don't listen to Maxis, listen to Vitalik. He's no more confident about Ethereum's feature than many of us."
Coming to you from Public Relationship Office of Parity.
Yeah, here's the thing. When it comes to Ethereum, right? I think many years ago when we got on Ethereum, I know the smart contracts and smart contracts have a use case. I'm not going to argue that. Outside of that, okay, I'm wondering where else does this go? And maybe, people in the comments could let us know. But let's play.
Actually, people, they're joining to Bitcoin. Most people start from Ethereum, thinking that, this functionality is promised. There's this Web 2, Web 3 situation.
Right.
And then you later start finding out that this guy literally just copycat the original.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was from the get-go. Yeah, it was definitely. And so let's push on then. Let's listen to this. At least, well, it's a bit of a funny video, but let's watch this and we'll be right back and we'll share our thoughts on this. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, how successful this is going to be in 10 or 20 years, like it remains to be seen, right? Like it might fail, and it might be the case that like one of these, Silicon Valley people figures out that they can make an alt layer one, and they can like bribe them all a huge amount, and they'll get like picked off and walk and walk over despite everyone's original intentions. But like there's lots of ways in which this sort of stuff can socially fail, but like I feel like so far it's actually been surprisingly successful and more successful than I expected.
Nice.
Mm, mm.
Thank you.
Mm.
Like,
For you personally, would you say Ethereum has been extremely successful?
If you ask me that,
Yes. Would you say, and for everyone in the comments as well, let us know. Would you say Ethereum has been successful so far?
yeah, I think it has been successful in telling people or promising people what it has not accomplished yet. Getting people to sign up and put their money on it. I mean, we put our money in it at some point.
Yeah, yeah. We did put our money in it at some point because I think for me personally, right, and you guys let us know in the comments. But it seems to me that for something that is such a massive project, right, the path forward and the end goal is very unclear.
Unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, even from the founder himself, right? This is like Elon coming out and going, well, we're going to build some electric cars. It might work, it might not work. We don't really know. We're not sure if based on what is happening right now. Imagine a bunch of Teslas just catching on fire, and it's like, well, this has been quite successful. We look at the amount of rock pools and things like that, and just things that have failed on Ethereum, right? We've seen other um, crypto companies, if you
Hmm.
will, move or migrate from the Ethereum blockchain itself
Hmm.
to other things. It just does not seem to me that there is a measurable, I guess, path of success with what they're doing because it's changing all the time.
Yeah, and actually, he also acknowledged that Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
which might not be his current investors, can copy his code and do something similar or faster.
Mm.
Solana was able to do that and kick his butt. Polygon, AVAX, those guys were able to, in terms of transaction speed, were able to do that faster than Ethereum. So in terms of transaction speed, there are other blockchains out there that are doing the same thing Ethereum is doing and doing it better. But everything that everybody else is doing, you can do on layer two on Bitcoin. So they all realize the weakness in what they're doing.
Interesting. Maybe we're looking at this too high level. You guys let us know in the comments. We just wanted to share our thoughts on this one,
Yep.
right? What else are we talking about today, Double O?
Yeah, so we figure, everybody has this whole maturity process in the Bitcoin space.
Right.
So we've matured from Ethereum to Bitcoin, and we're slowly educating. Oh, not slowly. We continue to educate ourselves
We're
in the space.
aggressively educating ourselves.
Yeah, yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
And the more you realize that this Bitcoin, this so-called future innovation, is actually here,
Right.
and we can apply our day-to-day financial strategies with Bitcoin
To
as
the
well.
Bitcoin, absolutely. So, well, I think for this, then you have like this list here
Yep.
of just some things that apply to the traditional system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, in the traditional system, we've definitely heard of people talking about harnessing the power of compound interest,
Mm-hmm.
right? Saving your money in an account where this interest compounds over time, and
Mm-hmm.
the longer you're holding this savings,
Yep.
right, the bigger it gets.
Yep.
How would you apply that to Bitcoin?
Yeah. So most people, like my neighbor,
Yeah.
just buy Bitcoin at
You should
once.
probably stop talking about the neighbors.
It's okay. He needs to watch the show so that he doesn't get screwed. Um,
Alright.
you just don't throw money into Bitcoin at once.
Alright.
You practice the approach of dollar cost averaging,
Yeah.
and then putting it in your wallet, and it build interest over time. How does Bitcoin build interest over time? Not by putting it in an exchange that promises you APY,
Mm.
but the fact that the value of Bitcoin increases over time. So instead of just buying just one big bulk,
Yeah.
you just create an habit of just constantly investing, put yourself on a schedule, and over time in the long term, the value is much higher.
Due to continuous adoption.
Yeah.
Yeah. I generally try to explain this to people by say, I guess give you an example of people who got into Bitcoin when it was still like in the $100 or
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
something like that, right?
$300,
Yeah.
150.
Realistic, I don't think we'll ever see $100 in Bitcoin anymore.
Nope.
Maybe Peter Schiff can tell us how that will happen, but I don't think that's something that happen. And I think moving into the future,
Mm-hmm.
there's always that much more room for growth. right?
Even if you look at the dollar inflation rates,
Yeah,
if the dollar continues to deteriorate, that means that the value of Bitcoin continues to increase.
absolutely.
So just that alone.
Now, one other thing, second thing that we also watch out for when we are dealing with fiat, right, all
Mm-hmm.
this is we are aware, we try to be aware of financial scams,
Mm,
right, frauds and things like that.
the biggest one.
Whether it's, someone from India calling you about your Microsoft protection is now expired and they need to remote into your computer,
Mm-hmm.
or if it's a Nigerian prince sending you an email, right? These are things that we have to be aware of. In fact, our banking system is supposed to help us protect us against,
Mm-hmm.
identity theft and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Applying that to Bitcoin,
Mm.
I would say, given just the security of Bitcoin itself, right, and given that you don't have to, there's not a lot of platforms where you can go to stake your Bitcoin and or just think of anything you can do on Ethereum.
Mm.
Many of the situations where one would typically get rock pulled, I think that's a bit more unlikely in the Bitcoin space. So really, it's the same sort of concepts. I don't think that people really need to learn anything new in the process of learning Bitcoin. I think it's just a mental shift
Oh no,
to that self custody.
people gotta learn because there are people that will eat you up on Twitter or Instagram and say, "Oh, there's this online
Mhm.
mining that you can do, and you can just put some Bitcoin
Oh
in
yeah,
there and you get your money back."
yeah,
There's that form of multi-level marketing where if you do put money here and more people put their money in there,
right.
you get more interest on your Bitcoin, or you put your money on some exchange and you borrow it out and your
Right.
money never comes back. So you just gotta watch out for that. The best thing to do really is just buy an old, instead of trying to put it in BlockFi and then BlockFi goes kaboom and your money is gone.
Okay. Now the next thing then is fostering a healthy relationship with money.
Mm,
I think this is a I don't know when they say fostering a healthy relationship with money.
yeah.
That is something that obviously when I think of that, I think of just having good financial education
Mm.
and not having this habit of spending all the time. What are your thoughts on that one?
Well, first thing with money is that you must first understand money. I
Right.
think we're going to talk about this later. But when it comes to Bitcoin, most people do not want to see their money or the value of their money go down.
Mm.
They are so risk adverse. They're like, oh no, the value has gone down. I must sell. What you have to understand is that money is value that you've created, and it's your responsibility to let that value grow.
Yeah.
Right? This is
Absolutely.
one of the reasons why I mean the value of Bitcoin in terms of money price action is down right now, but the technology adoption continues to grow and it becomes more rare. Right? It becomes more scarce
Yeah.
over time. So that is what you gotta understand is that Bitcoin is money, even though it has other innovative solutions, and that you have to have a good relationship and be comfortable with seeing the volatility of it while
Absolutely.
understanding that this is true money that does not get deflated.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, buy high, sell low. Okay. No, I'm kidding. Now, exploring another thing in the traditional space is this idea of exploring various financial institutions or
Hmm.
financial tools,
Hmm.
right? Various banks offer different, you know, advantages or
Yep.
disadvantages,
Yep.
different features,
Yep.
savings
Yep.
accounts,
Yep.
so on and so forth,
Yep.
cashback, etc., etc.
Yep.
How would you relate this to the Bitcoin space?
Yes. So this is where your risk adversity
Yeah.
becomes an issue, right?
Right.
So you're used to storing your money in the bank, right? And
Right.
the bank might promise you, if it's an online bank, they might promise you 3-4% back. If it's just your local wall to wall bank, they might give you 0.01%, right? That's the normal fiat system.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin, right? You should not be really hungry for APY returns,
Right. Right.
right? There are exchanges out there that will say put your money here and we'll promise you back some
Some
interest.
returns. Yeah.
But we've seen what has happened to some of them. You cannot trust. Bitcoin was not designed for you to trust somebody else with your money, right? You have to store your money in a wallet,
Yeah.
right? And just wait the time. That is true money, but the money is actually functioning in the ecosystem of Bitcoin, right? So financial institution is that you are your financial institution. You trust yourself, so put your money in your own wallet,
Yeah.
right? Do not give your money to somebody else for them to get rich and loan it out, because that's what happens. Your money goes poof.
Listen, I want to tell you a story. back in the day when I first came across this token. It's called Hex. Hex was, or maybe I don't know, I haven't checked it in a while, but Hex was or is being run by this guy named Richard Hart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this guy sounds absolutely smart. This is early days. I'm learning all of this stuff, right? And as I'm digging into it and digging into it, I actually have some money in Hex, which is still on MetaMask, right? I got into it. I'm like, oh, dude, this is good. And I come to realize that I really bought that thing because this guy gave a great motivational speech. He got me emotionally involved and emotionally attached. That's when I made that purchase. But when I was able to just fall back, right, recalibrate, desensitize my mind of the small talking, I started to realize that this thing does not work. You have to be really have to wait
It's like
for.
multi-level marketing.
Yeah,
Each person that
exactly.
comes in has value for the next person.
Exactly. I'm like, how are you getting these returns to give us? But interestingly, it just it's not going so well.
Yeah.
Where we right now,
Yeah,
we have one,
and
right?
there are multiple financial institutions out there that
Yeah.
are Bitcoin only that promise to also hold your money, and you can take a loan on that money. I
Mhm.
think we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So instead of just selling your Bitcoin to
Yeah.
get access to the fiat to do fiat life world stuff,
Mm,
you gotta be careful in selecting which financial institution you use to borrow
absolutely. For
Bitcoin
lending and
for
stuff like
lending.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's absolutely that's very true. Now, budgeting and financial planning are obviously an
Number one
essential
role.
piece
Yeah,
of just building that financial freedom,
yeah,
right, and a stable financial future.
yeah, yeah.
How would you say we can apply that one to Bitcoin?
I think that's number one. So I coach and mentor some of our younger kids in my
Yeah,
family,
yeah, it is
and
true.
that's just rule number one. If you want to ever even be an investor, talk less of being a Bitcoin investor, right?
Right.
I have a Bitcoin budget, right? You just buy and accumulate, right? You in your normal life, you need that to be successful financially. To be even successful in life,
Yeah,
you must budget
yeah,
your money. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, you must budget. You must have that investment money, right? You can
absolutely.
buy your Teslas, you can buy your Apple, but what percentage of your income do you store away into Bitcoin? You have to ask yourself that. And don't overdo it. Don't say, oh, the market is about to pump.
Yeah,
So I go
yeah.
put $10,000 in there.
You
That
know,
is not how you invest in Bitcoin.
I did make that mistake myself. At some point early on, when I started understanding Bitcoin, I suddenly started having this sense of
Urgency.
urgency,
Yeah.
right, to buy as much as possible. And I put myself in some very tight situations where I just take my whole paycheck and I just throw it to Bitcoin, and I'm like, but that was not great. However, when I got to the point where I kind of just pulled back and I decided like this is the fixed amount where I'm just going to put into Bitcoin every week, every 2 weeks, so on and so
Mhm.
forth, it's steadily moving up. It's no different from a 401k,
Yep.
if you will,
Yep.
right? And with that, you have balance
Mhm.
across life, really.
You can sleep at night. You're not
Exactly.
stressing.
So now I can actually go buy that vet and not have to wait for Bitcoin to rip up to go
Yep.
by the way. So
Yep.
good stuff there.
Yep.
Diversifying your investments. When it comes to diversifying
Mhm.
investments, right? This is another point. It's a tricky one. I think yes, getting Bitcoin is already probably diversification for almost everyone
Mhm.
because I think most of us are already into stocks
Mhm.
and things like that. So um, at this point in time, it almost seems like diversifying really just comes down to finding those things that hold
The
would
value
hold
of
its
that.
value against inflation,
Yep. Yep.
whatever the inflation rate might be,
Mhm.
and then that's really what it is. But at this point in time, it seems that there is not many of them. Except Bitcoin, which I guess if you break down the returns over time, it kind of still gives you a higher return than most assets.
Yeah, so I'm not a Bitcoin maxi, so
Mm,
I still take the traditional financial steps
yeah.
and the blockchain steps and I combine them. So I look into mining companies,
Hmm.
even though those are still correlated. So I have mining companies in my portfolio. I have Bitcoin inside of my portfolio. ETFs are weird because you don't really need an ETF, right? But they are, the institutions that put ETFs together have their ways of making those ETFs bring some higher returns.
Yeah.
But that's a major risk to your actual Bitcoin because they can be shorting your Bitcoin or they can be, bullish on your Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit with ETFs, but I also play around with traditional markets like real estates. But those are things that the government can seize. You just hope that it doesn't get that bad. I have no gold, guys. Gold is just too old for me. Uh,
Good is too
and of
old.
course, I throw a lot of money into Tesla. And all PLTR and all those interesting stuff. So
Yeah.
I do diversify. I'm not just Bitcoin only.
Absolutely. Well, let's read some comments here before we close this one up. Let's see. We have Bitcoin Chango says champions. What's up, Bitcoin Chango? Chango, this is pretty interesting. He says the notifications on my YouTube is still hot garbage. YouTube as a whole is hot garbage, sir. But
We
we are
still have to
here.
use them.
We are here because at the end of the day, what options do we have, right? We'll make it work. It is what it is. All right. Well, look, 920, sir. We hope this were informative
Yep.
for y'all. We just thought something light this morning, something interesting.
Yep.
It's not, these are concepts. I think we can all agree that these are concepts that we are all already familiar with. I'm pretty sure everyone watching this is already familiar with these concepts.
Yep.
But a lot of times it seems like Bitcoin is like in this distant place, but it's not.
No, it's right there in your
It seems
face.
like it's really stuff that we already do.
Yep.
It's just a matter of shifting that over to a platform that eliminates some of the bottlenecks that we have right now, as well as some of the inconveniences, and eliminating that central point of failure,
It's
which is
like
the central banks.
it's like a paradigm shift, right?
Yeah.
It's the same money that you and I create with value. Right now, we're getting that back in fiat,
Mhm.
which is currently
Mhm.
getting destroyed by the central banks and so
Yeah.
on and so forth. What we're trying to do, those of us that have realized that, is that transition that from a system that is getting destroyed by inflation and central bank policies or government policies to a system that in the future actually retains value over time. Right now, it's still being impacted because everybody is competing against it, or
Right.
they're trying to destroy the value because it's going to take away from their current established value.
This is true.
So it's just a matter of time. Be patient. You're not going to become a billionaire or a millionaire tomorrow, but basic finance understand that your money is supposed to hold value. Right now, it's not holding value. That's why Bitcoin was created, and it was created for you to hold it. So it's simply that transition that we're all going through right now. So just be patient and apply those finance strategies into
Absolutely.
Bitcoin, and you'll be great.
There we go. Bitcoin Chango says gold is way too old fashioned. There's really no way to hold it physically without asking for trouble.
Yep.
Yes, sir. That's what it is. So we have to use paper gold, which is basically single ply compared to double ply of fiat. At least you can hold your fiat. This is true. Hey, man, we're in a bad place where people are just trying to look for the least horrible option.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
It is.
seems like that's what it is.
It's almost like voting all over again. When you vote, lately, it's almost like you're trying to find the worst evil.
Yes, the less of the evil.
Yeah.
It's disappointing.
Yeah.
We're being shortchanged out here. It's ridiculous.
Every day, all the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're bringing it to an end here. We hope you have a spectacular Juneteenth and an even better week. All right.
Yes, sir.
Please keep educating yourselves. Please keep staying sharp, because it seems our leaders are not in control of anything at this point in time. We really have to be on point with what we do and take control of our financial future.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments. We're definitely on Twitter. Let us know if there's some things that you would like us to talk about. We'll do our research and give our take on it, right? Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you to the Gentlemen of Crypto for having us on their channel all the time. So please like the video, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Garbage, we don't really care. We're also there on Spotify, so please follow us there, and we'll probably pop up on Rumble pretty soon as well. Yeah, we're going to be over there.
Yep.
Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Brazen out.
If you're wondering where I got this t-shirt from, BK Crypto.
Oh, yeah, that is on BK Crypto, man. Check out his website.
Double O
We have to support each other. I mean,
Yes,
there
sir.
we go. All right.
All right.